What's going on, people? Welcome on into the Put It in the Book show, where this year we come here every week to have a lot of fun so far. All Mets talk, obviously, season 8, episode 3. It's just the two of us, as you can see from this beautiful. Look at these beautiful human beings that we got here on the screen. Beautiful faces. I'm Steve. We got Keith, as always. What's going on, my friend? How's
What's
life
going
hanging?
on?
How's everything going? What's good with you? What's not good with you?
I am at the phase of my Mets fandom, which we've all been at before, where I can't get enough of the Mets. I wish they were even playing tonight. So I am doing good.
We should have played a doubleheader. We should have said, Phillies, listen, that series that's coming up, you want to play an extra game tonight just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
We're
not
doesn't
done.
even have to count.
We're
Doesn't
not
even have to count. We're just
you. So let's keep it rolling.
yeah. So obviously, this team so far this year has been giving us plenty to talk about, and this week is no exception. We'll get into all that kind of stuff and a whole lot more. Coming up here, we're going to talk about the start to the Mets season, where we're at right now, how it's great to have my son come to me every morning saying, what happened last night? Are we still in first place? Do we have the best record in baseball yet? And all that good shit. But we'll get to all that right on the opposite side of this beautifully produced video. Not made by producer Joe, though. I say producer, but I want to make sure that it was not produced by producer Joe. It was produced by producer Steve. Let's get to it.
Woo!
All right, folks. Yes.
Without coordinating, mine's a little longer, but we both went with long names, or I should have what's in orange and white. But hey, we both
good. We did. That's true. Cities are rocking. Don't come a knocking. That's the theme to the early season here for the Mets. And I just want to rattle off some shit. Pete Alonso, 26 RBI in 25 games. Lindor, over 300. Pete, over 300. Guys named Beatty starting to pick it up because they got a little pressure breathing down their throat, down the back of their neck, right? Mets walking up. Marte, who would have thought that Marte is going to come through in the clutch in that situation? We know he's a solid ball player, but is he up in the right situation? And is he the guy that we trust? 7 straight wins. Back-to-back sweeps, 12-1 at home, 18-7 overall in the season, which with the Padres loss today gives the Mets the best record in baseball. Obviously, super early on, but it is such a breath of fresh air, Keith. I know it is for you also to have an April where we're like, this team that we thought would be pretty good is pretty good, right, Keith? We're all in pretty damn good spirits right now.
Yeah, as soon as the game ended, I was driving home and had it on in the car. And which I pointed out to you earlier today. For some reason, I never knew that you can listen to Howie while actually watching the game.
Yes.
Not that Garrett, Keith, and Ron aren't great, but just sprinkling Howie into your life, it does make life a little better once in a while. Yeah, I mean, he's just amazing. And anyway, so my son called me.
Can we win the damn World Series for Howie, please?
Right, please. As soon as the game ended, as a matter of fact, well, for Gary too, right? He was in the radio? No, he wasn't in the radio. So yeah, for Gary too. Ron and Keith, obviously, we know they've been there. But yeah, I was in the car. My son called me right away, and he was just like ecstatic. Like, this is amazing. Whoever would have thought this? Amongst many things he brought up was the fact that the pitching staff was outside of Met fans who already had trust in Stearns, laughable. Like, nobody was like, oh, they're not going to do nothing. From 25 games in. 25 games? Yeah, 25 games in.
Yeah.
Best staff in baseball. And for me, always I picked a good temperature point is 30 games into the season to kind of understand what the team's going to look like. I always thought that was a good level. And 25 games in, best ERA. I mean, wow. And I think before today, what I sent to you guys in chat, we have a plus 35 run differential at this point. I mean,
like when you look at all right, we're Mets fans, right? So we see what's going on in the field and we kind of don't believe it, right? But then you look at some of these numbers and like you look at, like you said, the run differential, it's plus 36. We have given up 69 runs, right? And it was pretty close with the Padres. They're at 74, which is obviously no slouch. But outside of that, there's nobody else in the 70s. Everybody's 80s and above. You got the Phillies, right? Who everybody said best pitching staff in the National League East. They are -4 run differential.
It's funny how much Nola is actually struggling. See, I fixed my.
Hey, Brian Sucks wants to just give us Nola for free. I said no, thank you. Thanks.
Well, at this age,
what I did say to him, Brian Sucks. What I did tell this guy today was that you have no use for Wheeler. You suck. Send him on. We'll pay the contract. We'll even throw an additional $20 million on top of it. Give us Wheeler, and you guys aren't using him.
I mean, among the
and then mix up for Barkley, you son of a bitch. Sorry.
Amongst the many things that I regret during the Wilpon era, just letting Wheeler go to the Phillies was really bad. I mean, it was the all-time discount contract. The Mets should have done it with him. Just really, really bad.
But we do take a little solace in this. He's been miserable against the Mets. Not his performance, but the Phillies. The Phillies have lost 8 of their last 10 games against the Mets, and they have lost 19 of 25 at Citi Field. Mets are 19-6 against the Phillies at Citi Field since 2022.
That's amazing because they
ownage.
They kind of always had 8 artillery, you know what I mean? And since Cohen came in, the whole entire attitude of the Mets and everything else, and this is something we all know, but it's just something to say right here because you mentioned how we're dominating the Phillies. The Mets culture has changed so much under the Cohen era that we're turning all that around. At first, it was a little frustrating, even for me, for everybody, for every Met fan. But we saw the plan, and now the plan is moving. And I think, Stern is a real big-time driver of that plan of winning longevity, winning championships, which we haven't done yet, unfortunately, and changing the culture on the team. And I think we fully pivoted to that now. And now it's go forward into the future with Cohen's plan for the team. And feels good. I'm getting goosebumps. It feels really good. Let's go Mets.
The future.
Do you watch Wardy? I know I texted you last night, but do you watch Wardy?
Oh, no.
He talks really fast. He loses me sometimes because people talk too fast. Sometimes bore me, and I just OCD. Oh.
You're like,
Meanwhile,
he's probably talking fast so that nobody gets OCD, and he got to get it in quick. And you're like the opposite. You're like, he's talking too fast about.
Yeah, like too much info at once, dude. I'm going to bed. But yeah, he was dancing on his podcast. And for those of you that watch Wardy, he's a young kid, really good show, but you should check him out, Steve. I'm not trying to promote him, so we'll move on.
Lost in all there's a lot of stuff going on with this team, and not the least of it is Lindor. Lindor has been getting on base at the leadoff position at nearly a 50% clip in our games, and it's that's no wonder why tables are being set. And he's gone in this home run deal over the last week or so, and he's hitting home runs into the upper tank. the second deck there in right field, and he's getting hit, and he's having a fun out there. Did you say his first hit as a right-handed batter was that little dribbler? And when he hit first base, he was like, yeah, I got it. Finally got a hit righty. Now he got a solid base hit righty. We know that the right him batting right hand is his typical his normal side. And he's hit bombs from both sides of the plates in a game before. So Lindor, Keith, what do you think? Is Lindor have the April demons of the yesteryear? Are they all gone?
I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking especially today when he couldn't get that run across, we should DFA him. He's especially this Philly series, horrible. I mean, what was it, 600? Terrible. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in him. All kidding aside, he has been amazing. The April demons definitely do seem to be lifted. It's not just, I mean, speaking about Lindor, but the same comment's true for the entire team. It seems like we just picked up where we were last year. Spring training was spring training. Everybody 2-3 innings here, a bunch of people that aren't going to
love it, Jonathan.
Season.
Love it. Phillies called him Mets daddy. Love it. I might use that on my TikTok tonight.
But it really looks like this team, Lindor and this team, really just are still feeding on that attitude from last year. Like, we don't give up. We can beat you. You're winning. We don't care. We can beat you. And even if they lose, they come out the next day still saying, we can beat you. Like, they just have this different approach, and it's so refreshing. It's been years and years and years and years since I've felt this way about a Mets team. Even in 2015 was great, but this is just different, man.
But this is the Mets team that's backing up our hope and expectations. I think every year we have the hope and the expectations, but this year they've put it together right at the forefront.
And exceeded my hope and expectations, honestly, at this point. I mean, it's 25 games in, like I said, but then back to the 30-game temperature meter. Like, I feel like, wow. I feel like this is going to be a really good year. I feel like, I know it's way too early to tell, but if the health stays the way it is, I feel like we can win 100 games.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through with you. Everybody's going to cry. But this team is good, man. This team is good.
And I'm getting way ahead, and I'm just going to say this, and then we can move on. But you don't know what the team will also do at the deadline to bring in a pitching. Some pitching help and whatnot, because Steve Cohen wants to win the damn World Series. He's the fan, and now he's the owner, and now they got that casino thing going on. He wants that area to be lit up. And
did they start tearing down the chop shops and the junkyards?
I don't think so. I saw something where. And don't ask me who it was and where it was, but it was a council member from that area that is opposing that, but admits that she's gonna but admits that she's gonna be defeated. I don't know what the reasoning is. I don't know what side of the aisle. I don't know none of that. I just know that it's a council person that's opposing it.
The aisle.
Yeah, I have no idea.
New York politicians are some of the worst. They happen to be Democrat. I'm not saying I don't like them.
I have no idea.
But they just make some really poor decisions. Like, they need a little bit of a revolution in the Democratic Party in New York. Because
are you shitting me? Did my last tour in Iraq, finally effing retired. Let's go Mets. Welcome back, my friend. We've been missing you.
You Army, Navy, or Marines? Or were you over there on contract? But either way, thank you for serving, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Even those contractors, they do some crazy work over there, man.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
All right. Glad to have you back, Boulay. So and then the thing that impresses me the most, it's just a matter of time before I think they name Lindor the actual captain of the team, but he's de facto captain every single time they after he hits a walk-off home run, and they ask him, what was he thinking? No, I was thinking, the Peterson pitched well, Acuna get on base, and this and that, and all that stuff. So he always leads other team first, even when he's doing the majority of the heavy lifting. So that's to his credit, Lindor. Again, we've talked about this. Lindor has absolutely turned his New York career around.
Oh my God!
But when Baez was here, I know a lot of us were thinking about how a miserable next 6-7 years we're going to be or whatever. But he is left Baez in the past.
Mrs. Cohen too. And if I could just pause real quick. Again, Tom, thanks for your service, sir. We love our armed force members in here who fight for our freedom, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
War 29, Ike Davis.
don't tag that, please. Was it was like Ike Davis back in the day, right? Or did we like?
Oh, look at that! We got camaraderie in the. I want this team to win now, just because this guy Tom is home and can enjoy it. Look at that!
There you go. We'll do it for you, Tom. Well,
I love it.
But
we'll do it. It's a will. We will the team to win. That's it.
We're going to help will them to championship. I
think Ike Davis has good vision now. Did he get LASIK or something? Sorry, go ahead.
And then what's his name came in after Ike Davis. Had a couple good years for us. Went to Tampa and died. But
hey, wait. This is quick story. 2009, which is what do we got here? 16 years ago now. I had this little tiny Mets blog, and it was called Mets Country Unite. And one of my first posts was, the Ike Davis era has arrived.
No, jeez.
We have our first baseman of the future.
We believed it. But yeah, that's
shit.
Wow. Just wow. That's
it's
but
it was 16 years ago. This feels like yesterday, but that's fine.
I was hearing some back and forth chatter. I don't know if it was on TV or just on social media, whatever, but it was a cool idea to say, like, hey, if David Wright, and I think he would do it if they actually nominated Lindor as the captain, if David Wright can come in and like officially hand it over to him, I think that would be really cool.
Hell yeah.
And I think that's something
I like the passing of the torch,
Correct. Yeah. Dave Magadan.
Says Magadan.
We'll go Magadan. Mags is better than Ike Davis.
Magsy's breakout game, 1990, 6 for 6 against the Chicago Cubs because Mike Marshall was a douchebag.
Was that at Shea? And he hit a line drive home run?
No, it was in Chicago. Mets won it was one of those Chicago back then games where the wind was blowing out and he went 6 for 6. I think he might have hit a home run also. But they won something 1990, and I'm remembering this shit.
Yeah, I was at a game in Shea Stadium where he hit a home run to left center, and it was never left more than 20 feet high. It was just like a laser beam that just went out the park. He had potential.
Traxel, Alex Cerrito. Here we go, Sean.
Steve Trash Can, as Rodriguez would call him.
Yeah. No, for sure, that guy. Yeah, so that would be cool with Lindor. I meant to say this earlier, but the Mets by ERA, and we passed over the pitching stuff, but their team ERA is 2.34 through the 25 games, and which is almost 0.6 runs per game better than the Padres. Opposing batters hitting 217 against us. Is that good?
They're saying that we're not. Obviously, we just played the Phillies, but prior to this, well, you guys aren't playing good teams. Yeah, we are. I mean, Toronto's a good team. We didn't do great against Houston, but they're a good team. The
Cardinals came in. This is where I want to. Cardinals came in. We talked about this last week. Remember, 280 batting average against our 2.19 ERA, and which one won? Obviously, because we swept them up, we know which side won, right?
Imagine. Okay, let's. What did you say our batting average was?
I'm grabbing that now. The Cardinals batting average dropped from 281 to 264. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The Mets batting average went from 218 last week to 234, which means in the last week they picked it up.
Imagine 218, even 234, but we still scored over 100 runs. We're one of the top scoring teams in baseball. And when you think of that, and you think about your frustration as a Met fan for all the runners in scoring position being stranded, for all the key hits not coming, we're scoring a lot of runs compared to other teams, and we're not clicking yet. So this season has a lot more excitement in front of us. You know what I mean? Like, I know people want to say, "Oh, Lindor is not Lindor. Soto is not performing." Oh, he's performing. He's just not getting those hits that we all expected yet. The guy's got what, 20 walks or something to that effect, scoring a ton of runs, and he's stirring things up. And do you think Lindor's April success has anything to do with Soto batting behind him? Come on, people. Soto in this lineup has changed this team a lot, even if he's not performing up to the expectation that you have.
Not to mention, Keith,
and I know he's going to come around.
That's impacted Pete. That's impacted Pete. Pete's had more opportunities to drop 26 RBI in 25 games.
Guys, on April 23rd, as Gary kept saying.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, poor Gary, RIP to the dog. I don't remember the name, but that dog is giant. Was giant.
Yeah.
You see the dog sitting in the chair next? Wow, like Gary could have been.
He sat in a chair taller than Gary, but Gary, that's not saying a lot, unfortunately. But yeah.
Hey, but the team did it for him. That was the night Lindor hit the walk off. Because hey, Gelbsy, nice call, Gelbsy.
Gelbsy's doing a good job, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's our future of the booth whenever the golden era retires.
Mike, this is a brand new name. Love to see it. Plenty of guys would take Soto slump. It would be their hot. Yeah, we talked last week that we talked somebody's in a slump, but they reached base in 11 not this most recent, but last week 11 consecutive games they reached base. Oh, what a terrible slump!
How many runs scored does he have now? I don't even know. Let me look up his stats.
I think he leads the team. In runs scored.
Yeah.
Jaime, what's going on, sir? Everything's good in the hood. If it's Flushing, everything's good out there. Maybe not those alleys down the tire, the used tire lots and all those things. But so all right. So next up, and Boulay makes mention of it where I wanted to kind of go next. We have the lineup is clicking. Because the team is winning, it's allowing Soto to kind of hide out and not be hitting, 280, hitting bombs all the time. Because you got Pete doing it, you got Lindor doing it, and then now, we got Vientos joining the fun. Torrens has 8 at the dish. Acuna has picked it up, and you see the bomb at a Brett Beatty today, my friend. He don't want to go down. So my question is, Keith, you're the GM. You are it. You are the decision maker. That's it.
I got
McNeil's coming back. Like, we know who's going down because of Alvarez is what's his name. But
I'm so glad you asked me this because we didn't even pre-plan this, but I was thinking about this a whole lot, right? So
we're on script.
What's his name? Azokara?
Gone.
Or gone, sent down, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Senger, gone. You got 2 spots now, right? Also, what I found out is McNeil played center field in his last rehab game today, right? So I'm thinking McNeil's going to be put in center field, and we're going to check that out. And I'm thinking,
do you like McNeil in center field? I think I would rather Nimmo.
I would rather Nimmo in center and McNeil in left. By the way, let me just pause real quick and just say that if Nimmo did not leave left field, potential Gold Glover. I mean, today's game was
obvious. Great plays today. Oh my God.
But anyway, so get him
Dive
back
and play, leap and play.
Yeah, I mean, and robbing a home run the other day. The guy has played left field better than any left field we've had since like McReynolds. But let's get back on track, right?
Okay,
so I think for me, as Okara, I think he would go down, and Singer would go down, and that would fill in a spot for McNeil and Alvarez. Obviously, Alvarez would jump into the starter position and catcher. Torrens would be in the backup catcher.
Yeah.
But I think to start, he'd probably still get like 3 games a week, maybe.
I think so too. I think that's the plan.
And then I think because they put McNeil, which was very interesting for me to hear, they put McNeil in center for his last rehab game. I think he might get some reps in center and might platoon between center and left with Taylor coming in and out of the game.
You know, we forget. I say that I would rather, and I still do. I'd rather have Nimmo in center field. But you remember that.
Go ahead.
No, so you remember the year a couple of years ago where McNeil was the super utility. He was playing second base and he was playing left field and he was playing right field and third base. But and he was our best, and he was the best defender at that position that year. So he was our best second baseman that year. He was our best third baseman that year, our best left fielder, and our best right fielder that year. So he played all positions well. I'm just a little concerned with the center field, but we trust this team now. We know if they put him in center field and something just doesn't feel right, they'll swap Nimmo and McNeil. They won't be too hard-headed to make the adjustment, is what I'm trying to say.
You're right. I mean, we've had some amazing center fielders on our team in the past, right? But when you
9-1-1.
Oh yeah, 9-1-1. He was hands down great with his glove. His bat unfortunately declined. But when you put a left fielder like Nimmo and a right fielder like Soto, and I know Soto gets a lot of grief for his defense.
Oh, that throw today?
Down on that after today. Their speed and ability will help lift McNeil in center field. So the left to right coverage will be assisted by 2 great left and right fielders. So I think it's possible. It's doable. And then you just slot in and do what we've been doing and rotate Acuna and Beatty at second. Right. I mean, I think that's for the better because Azukara, I don't ever say his name right. And I always feel like insufficient saying his name. But him on the team is not better than Acuna or Beatty on the team. It's just not. So if you want to have the best team available, I think that's definitely worth a shot.
Sean says going to Syracuse Mets game on Saturday. Probably will see Beatty and Singer there, and that's too bad. Send us some pictures. Obviously, get a little video in there. Shows I would really be disappointed if Beatty goes down. But we'll see because he's played. He's played a really good second base. He's shown that he can turn the double play over there. When he played third base, he was a vacuum over there. No other way to say it over there. And then now, the hits are starting to come. He's looking much more comfortable at the plate. And, just that bomb today, just off a Wheeler, this is a Cy Young candidate year in and year out. So, and I know you had something to say about our guys talking about Wheeler today. And I probably just boosted that a little bit, but seriously, he's a Cy Young contender, and for him to hit a bomb into the second tank in right field was awesome. I think
Wheeler's an amazing pitcher. I mean, I wasn't taking that away from him, but
yeah, I think that's where we're going with this.
Constantly, just like fellatio and taint licking, and they were just like so on him. It was just like they were romancing him. I was just like, shut up already. We know he's great. He's a Philly. We don't want to hear it too much. Sprinkle it in. Don't concentrate on it.
Do you remember me? Do you remember us? I think there's a fucking moth. What do we got going on here? Studio 5. I got a moth in here. Imagine. But we were talking about this, remember? And I said the value in the market, and you guys were like, "Nah," yelling at me for that. But that's what happened. And if we had a Steve Cohen. I don't even know. Would Steve Cohen have signed Wheeler to a long-term deal? because Stern or that combination. I'm not even sure. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Maybe
either.
the homegrown, homegrown they will, but not bringing them in.
The only thing I can say for sure is that if it was Cohen in there, we would have had a much better chance at signing him. I think that the Will Pons just went in there like, yeah, we can't spend money. We still got to pay back this Will Ponzi thing. It's just.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, but it's terrible, right? Yeah. I was reading an article just real quick I'm sidetracking, but I'll make it quick, is that when it was with Bonilla, how they signed him is why they signed him the way they did with future payments is because they thought they would still be a part of the Ponzi scheme, and they would just take all that interest and just pay it off, and it would be no big deal. And then all of a sudden Bernie Madoff got busted and all that went to hell, and now Bonilla's a Met for like 79 years.
I hate him. Not Bonilla. I have no problem with Bonilla anymore. It led to David Wright eventually, but Bernie Madoff, hate him. Hate.
Garbage. If you all haven't seen it yet, check out the Netflix special, documentary. It really kind of, to me, it depicts the whole situation really well. And if you don't understand what that means, like the whole Ponzi scheme, that will help break it down for you. It's a really good documentary. But ditto, I hate him too.
So a couple of comments in here. I want to go back to Jaime. He mentioned Nimmo and center, Jeff and Jeff. Oh, we're on a first name basis. I did say Jeff. He did say Jeff. And Beatty Acuna at second base. Or would you put Acuna in at center field? Acuna has had some reps in center field.
Has
he? Not here, but in the minors.
You know what worries me about Acuna in center field? His height.
And he might run right through the wall.
Either really, but
that's how fast he is.
Yeah, he is fast. He's very
like the road runner, run through the wall.
Probably make up for all that. To be honest, you're right, but that's the first thing I would think of. Like, he's not a big guy. He's not really a center fielder, but he does have extreme athleticism, and it could probably make up for it.
And then Boulay, just trying to go through the comments here. I got a feeling Marte won't be around too much longer. We touched upon this in spring training and whatnot. I guess at this point in his career, he's got to decide on would he rather be a prominent player on a so-so or a not-so-good team, or be at Citi Field in that atmosphere where you can get 36,000 people on a Wednesday afternoon before school's out. A lot of people were working from home today, right? Right?
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. That'd be modern-day Ferris Bueller. Rank the owner, says Lily. Payson from back in the early days, 60s to 70 range. Wilpon and Cohen.
If you read
Wilpon,
I forget the name of the Mets book off the top of my head, but if you read the Mets book about like its inception throughout and the ownership in the 70s and everything else, it's the Mets' biggest problem. Everyone's like, oh, the Mets are losers. The Mets don't do this. No, the Mets, well, yes, they have had the most weird, unfortunate, terrible, and losing situations, but it was always about ownership. The Mets ownership has been terrible. The reason why the Mets won in '86 was not because of Wilpon, it was because of Doubleday, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But once Doubleday left, and what is it, early '90s or late '80s, it was just
cocaine was the real propellant boost for '86. Cocaine.
I was like, what do you say? But I'm not sure I'm hearing you right until you just it's terrible.
Like just say that.
Right.
Listen, I don't know if you think Cohen gets a do you think Cohen gets a bigger boost? Boulay says agreed. Cohen gets a bigger boost because of what he followed. He followed a shit storm with the Mets, and I think Cohen is. I know the Mets coming into town was this new beloved franchise after our two other National League teams left, but now in the more modern sense of it, it is the Mets lived through, and their fans lived through all this shit. The Bonilla stuff, the Saberhagen stuff, the Coleman stuff, the Mo Vaughn, the Roberto Alomar, the Beltran not swinging, the collapses of 07 and 08. And I can go on and on and on. And poor Terry Collins having to manage that team for so long with just shit to work with for such a long time. And then the Harvey and then the Wheeler and Thor and that kind of stuff. And then we went back in the doldrums, and it was like, oh, we can't spend money. We're the New York Royals, the New York Brewers. And I think because this guy came in, as a fan and as an owner, he will be the guy who, even if it's not a bunch of championships, he will be the guy forever known as the guy who saved the Mets franchise.
I agree. I think he's brought the most sanity to this team ever.
Sanity, yes. I'll give you that.
Yeah, this is how I kind of envision it, right? So you take somebody who's disorganized, messy, never cleans their dishes, and I'm talking about like somebody's household, and you walk in and there's freaking clothes everywhere, sink's always full, place is a mess.
I asked you not to disclose this kind of stuff on the air. You were here last night. I don't need that.
Yeah, that's my house. No, that's kind of like how the Mets organization was run, just really, really messy. And then Cohen came in, who is not only a huge Met fan, passionate about the Mets, loves the Mets, but he's also an extremely successful businessman who knows how to organize, get the proper leadership in place, so he doesn't have to oversee everything that is happening. He can trust his leadership, and then he slowly but surely put all these key pieces in place. And thank you, Sandy Alderson, because he did help Cohen transition into this position. And I think finally it's kind of where he wants it to be. And now we're seeing what is the effects of a fruitful business, because baseball is a business, right? We're fans, we're very emotional, but behind the scenes, it's a business. And he put the proper people in place to bring this business or this team forward. And we're reaping the benefits as fans right now. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yes. That the crowd, I want to kind of get back to the crowds, because it was Steve Cohen who called out. Man, that's too strong, but he did make mention of the.
He called him out, like, "Come on, dude! Like, you guys."
Yeah, something like weak attendance.
I'm doing my job. Where's your job?
Yeah.
So,
so,
which again is a smart business move to do that,
right? Just kind of like it, a little poke. Yeah. But when you get 36,000 people, I know I said this a few times, but 36,000 people on an afternoon, on a Wednesday afternoon
game,
anywhere.
A lot of Bueller people in that stands.
A lot of kids in the crowd. What's going on?
I might be one of those people. I'm just saying, but probably not, because I don't want any of my bosses to hear this. So if you're listening to this, Jeff or Virginia or anybody else, I wouldn't do that. But and
I don't care how many kids I got. They're all excused from class that day. All excused. Let's get to the ballpark. Let's make fun of some people.
Class is dismissed. Let's go.
Yeah, it's all done. What do you think? This is what you're learning today, son. You're gonna learn winning baseball.
Full-blown adults in there. One thing that annoys me is the corporate seats behind home plate. I know it's the nature of it, but they're always half full. The stadium's rocking. What happened to Grandma Met back in the day?
Oh, you remember right behind home plate?
You were not missing the game. Now it's, corner. I know it's how the Mets make their money. It's okay, but I'm old school. You know, I was talking today about snow days and having to listen to the radio until your school is mentioned. So I'm a little old, but you know, I like seeing behind the home plate packed.
Or sorry, you triggered something in me. In what was it that you just said about
School days, listen to the radio to your
yeah.
schools.
How about when you had to go to, what was it, channel whatever, maybe channel 0 for the guide,
on the bottom.
or you needed to find out what happened that night on whatever game, and you, what is it, the scroller on ESPN, what was happening?
And your team was gone. You're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
ESPN. Even when ESPN started, now we're going back. I can talk about it. Yeah. But even when ESPN started, and they did the, I don't think it was before, like, Scott would be on. What was his name? Scott Stewart.
Stuart
Scott. Yeah, even like before he would be on, they would have a thing and they would just run through like little quick highlights of games, and you just sit there waiting. When's my game going to show up? When's my game going to show up? When the Mets are going to show up?
And then you miss it.
You got to take a piss, come back, and it's like, I got to sit through the whole damn cycle again.
You know why? Because the Mets sucked back then. And it was like, the highlight was Mets lose again on this base hit. All right, we're back. There was also I don't know if anybody in the comments can help, but there was also a channel. It was an all sports channel. I think it was channel 12 on like Cablevision back in Brooklyn, back in the day in the 90s. And it was just sports 24/7. And there was this guy who had, I remember, but I can't remember his name. I can't Google shit. I can't find the shit anywhere. But he had a mustache, and when he would call it was just highlights. It was no like live sports or anything like that, but it was just highlights. And he would say something, you know. He would say, "Bye, Bonilla, see ya." And I don't know the name. I know it was like on channel 12, some obscure, weird shit cable station. Anyway,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And there were like different, it was like a cheap ass Sports Center solos hosted shows. It was just one person at a time. It was just all sports highlights.
Or MSG Network, or who was the guy that said, let's go to videotape? I forget.
He's dead.
That was, damn, you stole my joke. I was setting you up to set me up.
And just so everybody in the chat knows, we know Warner Wolf is not dead, but Keith killed him off. This is season 8 of the show. Keith killed him off probably season 3.
Yeah.
Rich,
so,
Rich Mancuso.
That sounds right. Rich Mancuso. That's right.
Oh no, that's why it was so familiar. Rich is our guy. No, it wasn't him. It was he was a I want to say he was a white dude. He had, like, you know, news anchor hair. God.
Yeah, and he had like a cowboy mustache.
Assume the position, Sean. That makes pause. Don't assume the position, but didn't he say assume the position after? I feel like that sounds familiar. Cowbell in the house. Hi guys, back from the game. What a game. Cowbell. Jeez.
You were there today.
You were at that game. Right. Amazing. One of 36,000. It was like a public broadcast. Hi, mate. Listen, we're all on the same page. Can we figure out who it was? What was the name of the station? So I could die a happy guy. I've Googled before, and I just couldn't. I've not been able to figure out. Mancuso was on the show a long time ago. He called in. Hasn't called in since. Not a fan of the show anymore. No, he's out there. He's enjoying stuff. All right, let's do this real quick. I think we've covered everything that we need to cover, but let's go into the future a little bit and talk about the next couple of series here.
Let's do it.
Why don't we?
Do it.
Yeah, Jaime. Yeah, he's a good guy. CNNSI. No, it wasn't CNNSI. I don't. It's gonna come to me in a dream one day, and I'm gonna wake up, and I'm gonna write it down like Seinfeld did in the show, and I'm not gonna recognize what the hell I wrote down in the morning. All right. So day off tomorrow, well deserved. for the Mets on Friday. So we started a wraparound weekend series. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday against
wraparound, right? Okay.
I
Make it short. Cheers.
People that were nicknamed wraparound
Cheers
in high school. All right, so Friday, we don't have anybody for Washington. I don't think it matters. We got Kodai Senga going 3-1, a .79 ERA. Beautiful thing. Saturday, opening day, I did a TikTok. It was Clay Holmes started that day, and I went back today and I was looking at the comments from that TikTok, and I saw a couple of people that say, "Oh, now you know why the Yankees didn't convert him to a starter." Clay Holmes now 2-1 at 3.16 ERA, just went 6 innings. Obviously, we all knew that this was going to, a little process of stretching him out. They did it. I know I'm a Met fan, but the Mets did a hell of a job, not only with the pitching lab and signing guys like him, but also stretching him out in spring training and getting to the point where now he can go 6, and he's striking out guys left and right.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, cover your children's ears. I'm about to say some bad words.
Earmuffs, like I say.
I'm going to count to 3, and then I'm going to go to give you a chance. 1, 2, 3. So the Yankees need to get off of our dicks. They are on our dicks about everything. Clay Holmes, Juan Soto. Let me tell you something. The Juan Soto impact is tremendous. Is he hitting 50 home runs right now and batting 300? No. Will he? Probably. But his impact, just being in that lineup, is tremendous. Clay Holmes' impact on this starting rotation is tremendous. He has done an amazing job. So get off the dick. No, I'm just saying. Like, I don't really talk about Yankee fans. I don't do that too much and all that. I truly don't. But in this particular case, get off the dick. And if you get on the dick, lick the balls first. Okay. Now you can uncover your children's ears,
or stay on it for the ride. I don't know. You watch what happens.
I'd rather not Yankee shit on my dick, but I'm just saying.
Cowbell, our starting pitch has been awesome. Absolutely. So all right, so that's our Friday. Our Saturday is Holmes. Washington doesn't have any of their pitching set up. Sunday,
Spider-Man bottle topper on top of your Mets beer bottle behind you?
Well, I made it one. This is just
that's pretty amazing.
Huh?
Get it? Amazing. Get it?
This is amazing. Amazing Spider-Man and the Amazing Mets all in one.
There you go, baby.
Actually, you see the pennant there.
Thwip.
Thwip. Thwip or the big drip. Sunday, the big drip. Mr. McGill 3-2. Why does he lost 2 games? Because we had an inept offense that first.
I think that was towards the beginning of the season when we were just like with the offense.
1.09 ERA.
ERA. Wow.
1.09.
I was explaining to my wife why he's called a big drip. I was like, just look. In any situation, he just don't give a shit. I mean, he's just like, not that he don't give a shit. He's very competitive, but he is very calm, cool, and collective in every situation. That's a better way to put it. You look at his facial expression when he's up. You look at his facial expression when his 2 runners on. It doesn't change.
Right.
He just McGill. He's going to go up there and he's going to deal. And
thank you to Mama McGill for keeping him even keeled.
Yeah, and he's been definitely dealing for the start of the season, for sure.
When I say McGill, I'm reminded of his brother who plays for the Brewers, who's now the closer for the Brewers, who replaced Devin Williams, the former closer for the Brewers, who has like a 10 ERA, 10 ERA for the Yankees, right? And
Pete ruined him.
He ruined his whole damn career. Out down the toilet. And then, speaking of the pitching lab, Monday, 4:05 start. I don't know why. It's a getaway game, maybe. Yeah, what is it? What happened here? We just went on this road trip, this homestand, 7-game homestand. Then we got 4 in DC. Then we come back home for 3 games, and then we're back out on the road. What are we doing? Too much travel. Don't like it. But
the schedule this year is really weird. But yeah,
it's what the older generation would call wonky. Monday, 4:05 start. Mr. Canning is starting. The statistical worst starting pitcher in all of baseball last year. Now for the New York Mets, have gone through the pitching lab, 3-1.
Prior to the lab,
3.12 ERA. So all right. So the Mets have won 7 straight games. They've swept 2 straight series, including a 4-game set. Even against a less than stellar team like the Nationals, it is almost impossible to sweep a 4-game set on the road. Now, 2 things here, Keith. 2 things are at play here because I just remember that because I remember weird shit. You got a 4-game set against the Nationals. The Mets have won 7 straight. The Mets club record for wins in a row is 11. We can sweep this national team on the road. We match that bad boy. What do you think?
I think it's tough. I know the National starting pitching has been really good, but their bullpen has just been terrible. And the Mets' recipe for success, especially last year, has been endure their starting pitching and get to the bullpen. I think it's a possibility to sweep 4. If I was going to throw my money down, I would say 3 out of 4. But I think we could definitely sweep 4 based off of that, based off how terrible their bullpen has been, and throwing in how successful our team has been defensively, offensively, pitching-wise, and defensively. I think we can sweep. So I'm not betting. So I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and say we're going to sweep them.
I look at the starting pitchers on our side and how we've been playing and how they've been pitching, no matter the name, because you can't look at the name when it comes to Mets pitching right now, or for the foreseeable future. It's probably not going to be about the name long term, at least.
Yeah.
But I look at just how they've been pitching, and just I look at the Nationals ERA and how the Mets have begun to hit. So it's a recipe for 4 ass kickings, right? The Nationals team ERA, I don't have the splits, it's 4.82. And I want to check their hitting real quick because of what happened with the Cardinals. I went all the way down to the bottom. Nationals actually right in the middle of the pack in hitting. They hit 237 as a team, so they have a higher batting average than us. I don't know what that means in the last 10 days or so. But so they're in the middle of the pack there, but their ERA is close to 5. And this team has started hitting. And I know it's crazy to go out on a limb and say, yeah, they're going to sweep this team and win 11 straight. I'm in. I don't see any, like, from a logic standpoint, watching this team the so far this year, I don't see a way that they even lose a game in DC.
Yeah, it's hard to see that. Things happen in baseball. There was a question I posed within the Put in the Books show chat for all of you to know, and that was, is it too early to call them special? And I had some varying opinions.
I said, absolutely not.
This
is carryover.
Did not totally agree with that. He said it is just a little too early, but Farace and myself believe they are special. And I still believe that. I mean, like I said, my 30-game temperature gauge, we're upon that, right? Especially at the end of the series, we're at that just pretty much. And I truly think that we're on the precipice of exceptional baseball playing. So in other words,
Yeah.
I really do think we can sweep this game. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I would predict that in this particular scenario. What does that mean? I don't know. It means I'm in between. I think we're definitely winning at least 3 games, but we have the extreme possibility of winning 4. I just worry because I feel like there's always the possibility and the odds of winning so many games in a row because baseball is just so fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, like something is going to trip up somewhere. But the Nationals definitely have a big hole in their bullpen, and the Mets feast on that. And our starting pitching has been pitching so well. I think we can hold their batters down to feast on their bullpen and either maintain or gain a lead late in the game. So
Right.
I'm just going to go out on a limb myself and predict that we're going to sweep them.
I'm putting in a sweep too. I can't logically I can't look at it any other way. Boulay says it's easy to forget because Keith and I started talking about this before the show started while we were here. But Keith, what's your thought on what's going on with Diaz?
Oh, right. We totally forgot that, right? Because we spoke about it.
I felt like it was part of the show already.
Yeah, right. So I'll just make it a quick summary. So Diaz came out in the post game when he was asked and said that it was the coaches saw, and I promise I'll pull this together because it's gonna sound weird at first. Diaz said the coaches saw that one leg was bigger than the other, and they fixed it. Right. What? So I was like, what the heck does that mean? So I so happened to turn over to WFAN. I think they're still called that, right? And Tiki and Evan. And Tiki and Evan. Are we doing it again? No, we're good. And Tiki and Evan were on. And Tiki actually said, so Evan was like, what the heck does that mean? One leg was bigger than the other and they fixed it. Like, what does that mean? And I agree with Evan. Like, what the heck are you talking about? And I'm sure most of you know who Evan and Tiki are on WFA Network, their afternoon drive show. Great show. If not, go to Audible, check them out. They're a good duo, especially in the morning too with Boomer and Gio, another great show. Boomer. Yeah, really good shows. But Tiki had said, let me hear that comment. And he listened as producer Joe back. And then Tiki said, let me hear that comment. And he went back and he heard the comment. And he goes, you know what? It actually makes a lot of sense. And Tiki said, you know, when I was young, I had an injury in my leg, and it caused me to favor one leg over the other, and it set my hips out of balance, and my knees and my leg was longer than the other, and they had to do kind of like, for lack of a better term, like a chiropractic procedure to balance the hips, and they did that to Diaz. And so when Edwin Diaz was saying like he had to have his hips corrected, this and that, it was a procedure, and it's from Tiki Barber's perspective fairly common as a running back in the NFL for many years. I trust what Tiki Barber said. He goes, it's not a big deal. He'll take a couple days to recover and he'll be fine. You are a mental case. I'm not running. I would be Tiki Barber. I'm only regurgitating what I heard. So, but my point is, if Tiki Barber is coming out and saying something like that, I trust in him because his job as an NFL running back is a lot more excruciating and physically punishing than a relief pitcher in baseball. So if he
learned how to carry the ball,
he says that's kind of normal. I think we'll be fine. Because my initial worry is, even though Edwin Diaz has been up and down, you don't want that guy out of your bullpen. So I think we'll be fine.
For everybody, and that's a thing right now for everybody out there that's saying, oh, you know, we should get a real closer and whatnot.
He's a real closer. Anybody who says that,
we've seen what a healthy Diaz can do. But we'll see what happens with that. And then right after that series with DC, we come back home to play the Diamondbacks, who are part of that National League West is looking pretty damn good. They're in fourth place.
You know what?
14-9.
I say the National League East is looking pretty damn good. What?
I agree, but the West is like super top heavy. You got Padres 17 wins, the Dodgers 16,
Big pitch, no ass,
15.
nothing. We are right
because the Rockies have 4 wins.
Sorry,
we don't have. Oh, can I just can I say something? Hold on, let me take another sip.
Down it before you say something.
Sorry.
There you go. Thank you.
I am loving what's going on with the Braves. Not only are they off to a kind of shitty start, right? That's number one, like that. But now you got drama within that organization. I'm not sure if you saw what went on with Kelenic, and Acuna. So, for those of you who didn't see, Kelenic, our former guy, also former Seattle Mariner. So he's a Brave now, and he hit a long fly ball to right field, and his 222 hitting self kind of lollygagged it and was thrown out at second base because the ball hit up top of the wall. So that's now. Now, I know this is back a few years, but Acuna wasn't Acuna in 2019. He was still the better athlete and the better prospect and the better guy, now an MVP. He did the same thing. He was pulled from the game. Kelenic was not even a word. Afterwards, they asked the manager, who was the same manager, why? And he says, I have to go back and look at the Kelenic thing. It was blatantly obvious. He was hot dogging it, right? Down first base, watching it go. And when it hit off the wall, he tried to hustle and he got thrown out at second base. So I love and Acuna put it on. Yeah, like you got to be fit. You got to do the same thing, right? You can't say, "Oh, I got to look back at Kelenic." It was obvious, like, and you're batting 220, bro. Like, chill out with that. You hustle. Brandon Nimmo runs to first base still, and he's in the league how long now?
A lot, 11 years.
Yeah, somewhere around that, and he still hustles to first base on a walk. So I don't want to hear that from a guy who's been up and down in the league for the last 3-4 years. So I like that there's drama within Atlanta because just a few years ago, Keith, they were all the Atlanta Braves are doing the smartest thing and they're signing their guys to long-term cheap contracts, which, yeah, that's great. But Acuna has torn his ACL twice. And now you got some drama building up. You got a shitty start going on. You're 7.5 games out of first place. You're in last place in the National League East, and I'm kind of loving it. Kind of loving what's going on in Atlanta right now, Keith.
Yeah, they're starting winning. They're playing really well right now. I think they've won 4 of the last 5 or something to that effect. So I hope that's not a streak. I just hope it's because they're playing who they're playing, the Cardinals, whatever. Cardinals are getting their asses kicked in the NL East. But when I saw Acuna criticize his own team, and he's going to be there for a long time, on Twitter, I was like, this is interesting because it never ends well when a player starts criticizing his own team on Twitter. Never ends well. I can't say that enough. I'm not going to say it again, but I just tell you I cannot say that enough. And for Acuna, who is like the face kind of the Braves, to say something like that, it's going to impact the team, the clubhouse, and everything else, regardless. Do I believe what he says to be true? I don't know. It might be, it might not be. I truly don't know.
Well, I think the only thing that he was saying that if it was like he wasn't saying if it was him, it happened. Like he got pulled for hot dogging on a ball that hit the wall. Same thing for Kelenic.
situations are different sometimes.
Yeah.
And you make judgments based on your situation. So I truly don't know. But he's implying to me, I could be wrong, but I think he's implying to some sort of racism, favoritism, whatever you want to call it. And that would be terrible for the team. I personally don't think that's the case, but I also agree with him calling it out. Be like, wait a second here, right? He does deserve kind of an explanation.
Yeah.
But I also think
because he's watching all the games, he's rehabbing still.
Right. So compiling my thoughts, the last thought I have is that's for the clubhouse. He should have called the manager directly and said, hey, why? Why this and not that? And not put it out publicly. The fact that he put it out publicly, it's bad.
And then deleted it afterwards, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if we all worked for you, Farace, and you did something that I thought was opposite of a decision or impact you put across to me, I would call you first and be like, why? But the fact that he didn't do that, it exhibits a little bit of a lack of trust in his own management. And that's something to say.
Right, yeah, exactly. He doesn't have a good like the trust isn't there. Right, you're right.
Right. There's a reason why he feels that way. It's not because, it's racist or everything's right. No, there's something that makes him feel that way. Because if he felt comfortable enough to reach out to his manager and say why, and the manager would have said, you know what, you're right. I didn't even think of that. I mean, if there was that kind of relationship going on there, it never would have made it public. But the fact that he felt he needed to put it out there publicly, to me, there's something wrong going on in that organization. And I love it.
And I kind of like it. And I also like the fact that, you remember when we were doing the top 10, the MLB, whatever the top 10 in each position, and Chris Sale was like third, and I was like, oh, we're trusting after this injuries. He comes back for a year and he pitches amazing. And thank you.
He's on my fantasy team. He's going to do great.
Minaya. He picked up some shit from Chris Sale, and he's been elite since. But I had my concern. Like, if this was a guy with the Mets, I would absolutely have my concern that, oh, this was a fluke. Yeah, coming back from the injury. He had major injuries.
Yeah, he did.
So early on, he's 0-2, but it's not anything to do with the Atlanta hitting. He's got a 6.19 ERA. Kind of makes me happy too.
Yeah, I might have to trade him or something. I don't know. See what happens. But yeah, I mean, like today, I have Wheeler on my team, and he was pitching against the Mets. I was like, I haven't even looked at what he scored. Now I can because we won, but I was like, why does my guy have to be pitching against my team? But
well, Diamondbacks are playing. The Braves are playing Diamondbacks starting Friday, so we would love for the Diamondbacks go on a nice 3-game winning streak, and then a nice 3-game losing streak on the other side of that.
Yeah, I want to bury the Braves. I mean, like if we could put them like 10, 11, 12 games under, it would be so hard for them to climb out of that. And how good our team is, they probably would never catch up to us. We just put ourselves 5 games ahead of the Phillies today. That's huge.
Yep. Biggest division lead in all of baseball early on, obviously.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's a long, long season, but the quicker we can take advantage of them struggling and get ahead of them, the better. If we win 4 games in Washington and they win 2 out of their next 4, think about it. We're 7 games up on the Phillies. Wow.
Who are I know it's really early to see to be scoreboard watching. I just want to see the Phillies travel to play the red hot Chicago Cubs.
Oh, they're gonna get slammed out there. The Cubs are playing.
I like that for them.
They're averaging like 10 runs a game or some stupid crap. I heard like that.
Crap.
Yeah.
Actually, a Cubs fan responded to a video saying that the Mets and the Cubs would face each other in the divisional series.
Oh, shut up.
unfortunate for them. But yeah, the Cubs are in first place, 15-10.
Their
They have a
pitching is
plus.
horrible. They're only winning because
Yeah.
they're scoring so much.
Plus 42. So yeah, I can't wait to face them. Plus 42 run differential for them. So they got a better run differential than they have the best run differential in all of baseball.
Wow, that's pretty big.
We're second, 36. Who's the worst? Rockies. Rockies minus 50.
Minus 50.
Minus 52. They're 4-18, Keith. They got the Diamondbacks, the Giants, the Dodgers, the Padres in their division. They're getting anally not so good stuffed.
I think the Mets are the only one out of a plus in our division. I think everybody else is.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up, Keith. What do you got here for on us? What do you got here on the way out for us?
Hold on.
Take a little sip.
I just want to say that I am very, very, very proud of our Mets bullpen, starting pitching, and defense. I know, like today, huh?
What? And Pat McAfee?
No buts. There's no buts.
No. What? No, but what? Stone Cold used to do that, where the crowd used to go what, and now Pat McAfee does it. What?
We don't have a crowd to yell back at me unless you want to do it.
Sorry, my bad. What?
Now I lost track of my thought. Hold on. Let me go away.
Bye. Keith, come back.
I remember now.
I missed you.
Really? So, yeah, our bullpen, our starting pitching, our defense.
What?
Wait, our bullpen?
What?
Our starting pitching?
What?
Our defense?
What?
Okay, we can stop the what's now. Offense is picking up and will only get better. I'm very proud of the way the Mets been playing. For example, like today, I think there was an error. And it was a questionable error by Vientos because it was a hop and he bobbled it. It was a whole thing. I'm not sure I completely blame him for that. But after that, he came back with a big hit and like 2 or 3 great defensive plays. The Mets are relentless. We don't care. I'm very proud of this team. They're doing a great job. And as a fan, they're making it so exciting for me to the point where it's like I can't wait to hear the next Mets news or game. And it's been a while since I felt that way. So I'm very, very, very happy with this New York team. I am actually not going to DFA anybody on the Mets. Take care, Tom. Love you, buddy. I'm not going to DFA anybody in the Mets this week because I don't think anybody deserves it. However, I will DFA the whole entire team of the Washington Nationals. Let's go for the sweep, baby. DFA Nats.
Let's go, baby. I just was looking ahead at the schedule because that's what I do. You got the Nationals and the Diamondbacks coming up. Then you go to St. Louis and New York City West, Arizona, because that fan base is like the Marlins fan base down here. They love us. Actually, if you look at last year, that's the scary part, Keith. Last year, if you remember, Lindor was getting MVP chance on the road. Mets, let's go Mets on the road. Wait till this year. Wait till they go out on the road to the Diamondbacks. Then, Keith, we just kind of mentioned this. One, I don't know what that says. After the Diamondback series, come back home to play the Chicago Cubs. I like it. I like that little feel there. Chicago's kind of feeling like, oh, we're a little ahead of schedule, and we'll be there to stomp them out.
So you mean we're going to take the swagger, grab it, and shove it right down their throat?
86, baby. The Mets are 12-1 to open the season at home since never.
How 11-1 or 12-1?
12-1.
Nice.
All right, so then you got the Pirates at home, and then you got a good 6-game stretch there, Keith, at the Yankees, at the Red Sox. Yankee Stadium will be full of Met fans.
That's funny. That's the top 2 teams in the NL East right now, right? The Red Sox are actually looking really good.
American League East. Oh, what? What did they do to us here? Yeah, at the Yankees, at the Red Sox, and back home against the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's a nice 9-game stretch there, Keith. I ain't even worried. I am not worried in the least. Last year, 2 years, whatever, we said, oh, here comes this one stretch. We're going to whoop them, Keith.
The way we're playing right now, if we go in there and come out 5-4, 6-3, it's a success.
I don't even think the White Sox should show up at Citi Field. They just go home, rest up,
Look at my
take 3 L's.
Citi Field, where visiting teams come to die. So they should just show up and just end their life.
And then deal with it. That's going to be, you know what? That might be our motto for the year. Deal with it. That's what's happening. All right, that does it for us this week. It was a fun show. A lot of comments in here. We appreciate that. We will keep you updated on anything that's going on in the world of the New York Metropolitans in the Facebook group. I will do my best to get on the TikTok and the Facebook and the YouTube and the sisters.
Hey guys watching.
Hey you guys.
Hey you guys. One of my favorite movies ever. But you guys watching and in the chat and watching in the future, share this out to your friends, please. If they're Met fans, have them join along. We appreciate you doing that. Love you guys.
If they're not Met fans, then you know the deal. All right. Mets are the best record in baseball, 12-1 at home. Brian Hom sucks, and we will talk to you all next week. Peace out, everybody.
Pull up the bunts.